What's going on, boys? It is your boy, dehBoy, back again with another video. I am here to talk about perfecting the loon portion of any attack, giving your loons as much of a chance as possible from the air on different bases. So we're going to use one of my clanmates' attacks as an example. He got 98%, and I think with a few changes he could have gotten 100 easily. But let's take a look here. So when I take a look at this base, I mean, it seems like it's an obvious hog attack. I mean, hogs can run over this. Shattered Loon can run over this. I mean, this base is just, it's not a good base at all. It's terrible. But definitely Shattered Loon is one of those attacks that can work. So if you are going to come in Shattered Loon, Golem here, Golem here. Let's just draw it out. So we got a Golem here. We Quake open this section, which means you can anticipate that, you know, this is gone with your shattered portion. All right. So you got your two golems running there, heroes, wizards. You're good to go. So let's assume that all that is gone. Okay. So now, if we want to look at this base, where are we going to attack? So the first thing I did here is I clicked both these air sweepers. Now you can tell, you know, this is like one away, right? Like, it's just, you drop loons here, they're gonna run straight for that. Except you have to deal with the air sweepers. You know, you can't just attack at each one, which is fine. There is plenty of room on this base to come around this air sweeper with loons. Now remember, this is all gone. So the pathing for the loons is really simple. If you drop 2 loons here and 2 loons here, this one's going to run here, and this one's going to run here. Now you could even just offset this 2 right here and drop it here, and it's going to come here, and then it's going to come here, and then it's going to come here. Where these you could offset the other way, right? So instead of these drops, now you got this to this corner to here, and you could even drop 3 here on the original and 3 here on the original, and still have everything going for you. Because when you path these loons correctly, they're going to get you exactly what you need without taking real damage, and the 3 is going to be able to kill the Expo. So when I take a look at this base, again, I'm looking at the air sweepers, and I draw out what my loon plan is. So let's assume that because we don't need wall breakers, and it's a pretty simple part of the attack, we're gonna have 14 loons here. So we're gonna have 14 loons, and if I do 3 on my original drops on each, that means I have 8 loons to spend at the end. So I'm drawing out, and this one will matter a little bit less, I think. But we're drawing out the range of the air sweepers here. And what we want to do is we want to path our loons. We want to figure out how we can get the ADs without delaying time, because time will kill you. I mean, the longer that you're having your hounds take damage because the blowers keep blowing things away, you're just gonna have a bad time. It's not gonna go well. So if I'm assuming that this top portion again is all cleared out, we have a beautiful wedge driven right into this base. So really, it doesn't even matter which side you come in. It's both the same. Maybe this side, because the towers here are a little bit heftier, you know, upgraded from here. So you want to plow through these as quick as possible. So assuming that this has happened, this is how I would go with my drop. First hound. That hound is going to tank all of this damage. As soon as the hound is dropped, I'm dropping 3 loons up here. This is a hound. Oh, that's an H, not a 4. And I'm dropping 3 loons right here. And as soon as the hound gets past here, I'm dropping a haste. I'll even do a little pink. My first haste is probably going right here, because I want these loons to go, and I want them to catch up. Now notice, these loons are going to do a ton of fucking damage because there's no blower that's blowing them anywhere, which is great. So once this gets here, what I want to do is, because I want this to go down really quick, I might go ahead and trick I might go ahead and trick this air sweeper. If I drop my other hound right here, this air sweeper is going to be like, oh my god, it's a hound, blow it away. As soon as I drop that there, I can drop 2 more loons here. This is tanking, and it's getting blown away. These 2 loons can come here and right here, and you're going to get that 80. So I would invest 8 loons on the front part, and that would be just fine. So now what happens? Okay, so everything goes according to plan because we've pathed it correctly. You know, whether the Teslas are here or here, you know, you still got plenty of loons that are like, now you have 8 loons that are coming around this wedge. 8 loons that are coming around this wedge like this. So you've got plenty of stuff dealing damage to things that it's catching up to, and you got hounds that are tanking the damage. So what happens next, you drop your next hound right here. You don't need to drop your hound down here. This archer tower is going to meet this hound and whatever's left of your first hound. So you drop your next hound there, and you do the same thing. You drop 2 loons here, 2 loons here. These are probably going to be up a little bit more, and so is this. I'm just got to deal with lines that already exist. And you can plan out your last 2. Either drop it when this air sweeper goes down, drop your last 2 down here, and start coming this way. Or you know, if this air sweeper goes down, then drop your other 2 loons right here, and you can come in right here. But you also have another haste spell, so I mean, you can either haste this group now, or you could even haste right here as the loons are trying to catch up to the hounds. But there's so many different things that you can do, and you're still pathing your loons correctly, and you're not running them into air sweepers. So really, that's what you're looking for when you're doing loon drops and all of that jazz. Is you're looking for how am I going to get the most out of my loons and my hounds. You know, my loons got to get to my hounds quick enough so they don't die, and you definitely don't want to run them into air sweepers. I'm going to show you the replay now of what happens, you know, when you kind of nilly-willy, you don't really plan out that loon section. You don't really plan out, you know, troop movement or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and 2 times the first part. First part looks good. I would probably, instead of putting more up here, I would put more on the sides here. I know that the storages have a ton of life, so you really kind of want 2 wizards, if you can afford it, on these storages to help them going. And you know, this wizard is gonna, you could have 1 wizard here, 1 wizard here. This wizard will come here and here to develop that funnel, and this wizard will come here and start running in the middle. And the same thing here, you could have 2 here, maybe even 3. That's just a small adjustment. Still, I mean, this portion of the attack works. Possibly got that king down just a little early, but he did get in to where we needed. So everything here is so far so good, right? So we got everything down. You know, this whole section is about to go down. That mortar is going to go. Hound drop looks good. It's coming in from an angle that we like. You know, I said we drop it here. This is still a fine angle, but the problem is there's no loons to support it. So instead of supporting this guy right away with some damage, he's dropping his second hound right into the blower, and he didn't trick the blower. So now he's got loons, and now look at this. So now he's dropped 2 loons. They're going to run away, and the blower's just going to keep pushing them away. He dropped 2 more, and they're going to run towards that one. And now he's just dropping the ones here. So right now, because of the way that he dropped his loons, the pathing for the loons gets screwed up. Not only because the blower is blowing them, but now you got, let me pick a good color here. I'm going to go back to red. Now you've got your pathing looking like this. And that's just not efficient at all. Whereas if you had these loons going, you know, you've got 2 different loon paths coming in this way, like a cold front, you know, sweeping in from the west side over there. But now, you know, now you're in some kind of nether region where you've got some kind of weird pathing going. And then, I mean, you know, and then from there, the attack just breaks down even further. Because the blower is now brought into play, these guys are taking forever to do anything. And, you know... And so now this thing goes down. These loons haven't caught up to the attack, so they're lagging behind, which means as soon as these hounds leave, there's nothing tanking the damage for those guys. Again, we're attacking into the blower here. We're attacking with these loons into the blower here. These loons have blower, and you can see, you know, these loons are getting destroyed. He's got no loon support over here. He's got nothing coming from this right side, so these things are all dealing damage, and there's no other support. And it just breaks down. So this attack just goes to show you that it is really important when you're doing any kind of air attack. Loons are strong, but they're strong because you can place them in such a way that it makes them stronger. You know, he had 14 loons there. I'm pretty sure it was 14. With those 14 loons, he wasn't able to get anything. But if he would have just changed just a little bit, just changed up how he dropped his loons, he would have gotten it. He would have gotten the 100% easily. So I hope this video was informative, guys. It's just trying to build. It's trying to build on what the what the strategies are, and okay, we finally have got this great strategy, this this Quake Loon type of attack where it seems to work on a plethora of bases that are poorly designed. We've got this great attack, but just because you don't have the attack means you can just do whatever on a screen. You got to think about pathing. Pathing is so huge in every attack, whether it's hogs, whether it's, I mean, even a go wipe. Like, you want to be able to path and funnel. In that, obviously the harder attacks, like hogs and loons, require more of the pathing. But really, the pathing is so important, and just making sure if you're coming in from the air, you gotta dodge as much as you can with the blowers. You can't run loons and hounds into blowers. I mean, you can run a hound into a blower, that's fine. If you can trick the blower into targeting your hound as your loons kind of catch up from behind and sneak up then that way. But really, you gotta think about these things when you're planning the attack, and then that's when you execute. You don't just attack a base and then kind of go willy-nilly. All right, now. I planned out my beginning portion. I knew what I was going to get. Now I'm sure I'll be able to figure out the second part. No, you got to plan out your second part. Okay, I got 14 loons. I know where the blower is going to be blowing. It's blowing down here, so I want that pathing created from that wedge. I want to keep things coming from behind, and I want to make sure my loons are sweeping across the base and helping the hounds instead of just dropping my hounds to their death right away. So. Again, hopefully it was informative. If you have any questions or comments, as always, you can leave them below. We're going to continue on with this war. Looks like it could be a close one. They're dropping a couple decent attacks. They got a 3-star. We're falling short a little bit, but we'll just keep chugging along, and I guess we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.